Hello everyone and a very good evening all of you. And welcome to RPM Esports, round 8 of season 3. You won't believe it. And we are at the Shanghai International Circuit in China. I'm RPM Bakker, your commentator for tonight, and I am joined by another RPM fella. And it's RPM Jones. How are you doing, Jones?
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine. If everyone can let us know if the audio is working right, that would be great. Then I'll get you guys the track map, the lap data out. Bit of telemetry is also beautiful. Looks a bit cloudy over Shanghai at the moment.
Yeah. And I wonder what the weather is for this session.
Move your phone back. Yeah, I just did. I just did. Thanks for letting me know in the live chat.
I thought I'd try and let you know off stream, so no one notices if they watch back. But it's there's no danger of them not noticing now.
We see Richie in the chat joining. Forza Ferrari, best of luck to my adopted son, the evil one. Yeah, it's all depending on safety cars for Evil Master, as we know.
Yeah, and we've got the McLarens nicely in order coming for their first lap.
Ross G, the leading one out of the both McLaren, so we're also following Ross at the moment.
Yeah, we've also got the two Williams straight behind them starting laps. So like Noah's Ark here, 2x2 at the front.
Yeah, well, they might be going for those slipstreams, of course, at the long straights, but the gap is quite big for the McLarens to do that. So Forza McLaren from my side, of course.
Yeah, Lewis G's just done the fastest
Not
first
biased.
sector. Obviously, it was just out of two of them at that point. Still the fastest.
Still the
Something
fastest.
I've never been able to do.
He even beat Ross on that point, so because Ross was the fastest before him. How surprising. Colin in the chat. Good evening, Colin. And good evening, Richie, as well. I didn't know if I said that already. Hope you guys are doing great. We are. So far.
Yeah, and Ross is just coming down to the hairpin at the end of the straight. There is a yellow flag in sector 3, but that's just for the Red Bull getting out of his way.
We see 14 drivers on track as well tonight, so attendance has been a little bit poor in mid-gear, unfortunately. We got some low gear reserves in though, while Ross G is setting the first time with a 32.8, Lewis going with a 32.3, so that's already half a second.
Yeah, I was going to say Ross on the exit onto the straight, he didn't use all the limits there, so he's definitely got more time.
Dino improving a 10 as well, so it's Williams, McLaren Williams, and L, our championship leader.
Yeah, and it's tight between him and Ross in the championship, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is. Ross had a great start of the season. Al needed a few races, but is definitely back at it. Someone else who's having a great season, as in my opinion, but unlucky is Evil Master, who's only 0.02 of a second behind L at the moment.
Yeah, and then we've got just settle up. We've got third in the championship at the moment. Fretwell, he's on a flyer lap now.
Just tune into him. What a coincidence! It's like an oil machine here.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Rodo's time. Maybe he was getting another lap in, but Fretwell did invalidate on the outside of that corner.
Yeah, unfortunate for him, but of course it's the bank lap. We move on to Huss. Nice helmet for Huss there. While Tonchek moves into 31.9, and he did a second lap on the same tire. Improving 2/10 on Ellie's time. Well, we are going to see what Huss can do, followed by his teammate Rodo in a slipstream on the straight. So, see if Rodo improves as well. Well, he definitely does. Huss goes to a 32.8, Rodo to a 32.6.
Yeah, I'm on board with Westy, and he just had a big moment coming out of the long winding corner onto the back straight.
That can be a real tricky corner. I'm struggling there myself a lot as well.
Yeah, you definitely lose traction a bit through there. But he's still not invalidated and coming up to the end of the lap, see what he can do.
Oh, a big moment coming out of the final corner as well.
Yeah, I don't know how that one feels. I crashed out of there a couple of seasons back.
You and crashing?
Yeah, I know, it's hard to believe. I'm sure Colin will mention something about that soon.
While Fretwell and Fretty, I'm just going to call him Fretty, I'm not messing around here. Fretty invalidated again, so he will go in, get a new set of fresh tires.
Yeah, and Tonchek's into the pits. I think Rodo's on a flying lap here.
He just picked the slipstream from his teammate, so I don't think so. Also, his ERS light is flashing on the straight.
Sorry, it's maybe Huss, yeah, sorry. Getting confused with the Alphas there. And he's had a nice slipstream all through that straight, but he'll...
Fretty is still at it though. He might be invalidating on purpose, doing some practice laps. Huss moves into P6 above his teammate. We're gonna have a look with Fretty, but I can't believe he's also a 13% ERS, so he might get his practice on his first stint.
I think, yeah, most people are coming in now. We've got a few on out laps. Cosmo's still in the pit at the moment. He's not set a time.
Westy is also out of fuel, so not going to improve. But yeah, we've seen from Fretty before that he doesn't need to have a front row position. Because, well, he started it from the back a couple of times. Actually one, I believe twice. Starting on a way different strategy than everyone else. He looks to be really comfortable on the hard tires.
Yeah, and he's races that I've seen Fretty, and he does seem to make good calls on his strategy most of the time. It's one of his stronger points.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, getting out of trouble helps him a lot as well. He doesn't pick up a lot of damage or penalties.
And Eek on started his flying lap, so see what he can do.
Let's go to Eek in that case. Fatty's still going on. He is definitely doing practice. So we keep an eye out for him as soon as he goes into the pits. And comes out again, of course. Eek on the medium tires.
Yeah.
Also reserving in mid-gear today. Deserves a big appreciation. Ooh, having a big moment there.
And I found that with this track on this particular iteration of the Codemasters game, it is much easier to slide on some of these corners than it was on previous games.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like the car has more throttle than you actually can feel.
Yeah,
and there's just way less grip on some tires, like the medium tires. It's really hard to get a decent lap with them in qualifying.
So it'd be interesting to see what you can put on these mediums. just within track limits there.
And it's a 33 flat, so not a bad
So
time at all from Eek.
So he's definitely going to have pace on the soft tyres. He did have a couple of moments on that lap, but he'll surely, if he puts the soft tyres on, have a very competitive time.
Absolutely, he might be looking for a high 31. So that's not bad at all, while I'm switching to Ross, who is 13 seconds lower than his time.
Yeah, I think Lewis is on a flying lap here. There's a few people who have backed
Cosmo
out.
as well. Cosmo now entering the hairpin.
Okay, I'll keep you updated on Lewis. And Lewis has gone fastest in the first sector, but only marginally.
And Cosmo now crossing the line 33.7. So at the moment, the slowest time.
Oh, an Evil Master.
Cosmo, great time from him, improving 3/10 there.
So he's now on provisional pole.
That will get Richie really satisfied. While you are being accused by Colin that you're just on the big con, you're going to dominate next season.
Yeah, jury's still out on that one. I can't see that happening myself. I wish it would.
Well, we move to Lewis. Ig retired. And that's in the pit lane. Oh, it looks like he went straight on the pit entry there.
Yeah, I think he did. I've seen he's invalidated, so I don't know if he must have been validated before that.
Rodo improving by 3/10, getting in front of his teammate again. It's a little bit of an Alfa Romeo battle going on here.
Yeah, and BMGO is up on his time. We'll see what he can do. He's coming around the last corner now. Gets a good exit.
Moves himself
into a very
P2.
competitive
Great time from Gio.
So it's looking tight for pole here at the moment. I know, obviously, Evil Master's got 2 temps in hand at the moment, but there's a few people I've been on board with in that top 6 that have just made an odd mistake or had a little moment. So it's anybody's game at the moment. It's going to go down to the wire.
Absolutely. It's also going, I think strategy will make things really clear in the race as well, because I heard some guys saying the one stop is actually possible, soft mediums. But yeah.
But tyre deg is quite high around here, is it? Or is it low? I'm not sure.
I believe it's, well, if you need to do the one stop on the mediums, it might be quite high. Knowing guys like Ferretti, he will probably not take the risk and go for the grip all the race.
What, so you think 2-stop for Ferretti?
Yeah, or the soft hards.
Yeah.
You might take the gamble on the hards from the start straight on, of course, with only 14 drivers.
Well, looking at Tonchek, he'll definitely be hoping to improve, because he's got 2 laps in those softs.
Improving 3/10, moving into P4. So that's a great lap from us, while we move to the Ferrari.
And he should have enough time to get round and just about out in time, just for the checkered flag.
For now it's P4 for the Alfa Romeo driver, what's not bad at all. Evil Master did tell me before the race he was slow around here. So it doesn't look like it's so far, but...
Oh yeah, and at the moment it's the top 8 are separated by just over 6 tenths, so it's really tight up the top, very close.
Let's hope we can get that the entire race as well. Love to see some great battles. Westy now crossing the line, improving by 1.3 seconds, moving himself into P8. So
and now there's 9 drivers separated by 6 tenths. But he won't have, he's not going to have time for another run, as he Westy, so that will be his time.
This will be his time, yeah. Or he might be able to pull out another lap on the same set of tires. His light is flashing, so I don't think he will take that risk. Well, I see a Williams. That's Dino, who is going to start his lap. Creeping Death, aka Boris, also joining in the chat. Hello to Coms, and let's go Williams. So, what a coincidence. I just switched to a Williams car and switched to another one as well. Tonchek, he's the first one going to cross the line for a lap. Taking the right side of the track on the straight, what is interesting, if you ask me.
Yeah, and I think we've also
not even
got
using ERS. So he's definitely been burning as much fuel as possible.
Yeah, and we've got Al round in the last corner. He's going to be the first of the front runners to cross the line. Oh, he has a huge moment on the exit.
But
he still improves.
31.7. Yeah, he was 2/10 up and improved 3/10. So the little moment actually got him another 10 out of it. So. Wow,
yeah,
Rodo
well, he was quick through the hairpin. I think he might have gained time through the hairpin.
Oh, and while I'm watching Evil Master, he spins around in turn, I believe it's turn 3.
Yeah.
Officially turn 3. I mean, now I'm looking at 2 tracks at the same time. Evil Master is off track. Did see so many curves there that I got a bit confused, but
yeah, and it's gonna. I don't think Evil Master will have time for another go, will he?
I don't think so. No.
It's going to come down to the
McLaren of Ross is going in.
Lewis is
also
on a 5, but he's
shooting the corner. And Freddy is on an outlap. Yeah.
He's not going to be able to post time. Lewis is 10th and a half through down through the first sector, so I think he's backed off, to be honest with you.
Tonchek still a 10 up, but invalidated his lap.
Yeah. And he's
so Cosmo
so
will
that
be the
shootout
first
I promised the chat has just not really materialised at all. Once again, another one of my prophecies being proven wrong almost instantly.
Cosmo improves and goes to P11. Freddy did make it to set a lap, while 4
Rodo
guys at the
improves
same
by
time.
6 temps up to second.
Gui
so Rodo just sneaks in past Al.
Rodo still has time for another lap as well. Lewis, the first McLaren to come around the last corner. No, he's going in. They're all messing around with me here. Evil Master without a wing, weaving like he has pole. L, of course, invalidated. So it's all down to one man. And that's Freddy. No time yet from Freddy. He is out on the softs. So,
did he get round in time?
Yeah, he did. 10 seconds left on the clock. And I believe Cosmo as well, but he's off track. So focus on Freddy here. Entering the hairpin onto the final corner. Evil Master already asking in the YouTube channel if he gets pole. Freddy is not gonna take pole. 33.4 from Freddy, so that's 13th. But he might want the tire choice as well.
Yeah, so the top 10 then is separated by 6 temps, just over 6 temps, which is unbelievably close. And I think Freddy and Eek definitely were thinking of their strategy rather than their quali runs there.
I think so as well, yeah. Eek, of course, he overshoot the corner in going into the pits, so I don't think he did it on purpose, but...
No, maybe. But it's still the medium would suggest that he was maybe taking a different route.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting what Cosmo, Eek, Fredwell and Gui, of course, going to do. Of course, the Eek and Gui did have their practice last night as well in low gear, so they know what to expect.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, it can get very hairy into the first corner here.
Well, we're getting a really nice chase camera on Evil Master's car right now.
Yeah, and he is the pole sitter.
This is a bit swifty to watch. And there you have it, yeah. The pole sitter, as Jones just said. Evil Master taking pole with a 131.6, followed by Rodo 31.7, only half a tenth, over half a tenth, followed by L, not even a tenth. So really close. Lewis is really close as well. It's just all really close. Believe me, it's really close.
Yeah, and that should make it exciting on the strategy point of view, because if they're close on pace, then either we're going to see some great overtaking throughout the race, or strategy could come into play massively.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, who's running more downforce? Who's better with his tires at the moment? It's all a big question for now, but more downforce might definitely help them out on the long straights we got here.
Yeah, and it looks a bit gloomy, but it's not too bad. I don't think. Well, I can't make any predictions yet because I can't see the weather or know the weather. But at this point, it's definitely a dry race.
Yeah, I can't see it either because my laptop is unfortunately not working. So I can't get the test information. Just so everyone knows in the chat, we can't provide you guys with information from the test system at the moment. That's also why you guys didn't have any track posters for the last 2 rounds. My laptop is currently not working.
Well, let's hope that gets fixed quickly.
I know you like the posters.
Absolutely love them.
Does that offer still stands where you wanted to buy them for 10 euros each?
I don't know if that came to you in a dream, but sure.
Alright, I'll ship them over. Can also just mail them to you so you can print them yourself if you want.
Will you give me a discount for using my own ink?
I will, yeah, I will. I will provide you with ink as well.
Always unbelievable service at RPM.
That's what makes us exclusive, I guess. While drivers are getting warm to race, we get warm for a little chat and some exciting racing, of course. Hopefully.
Yeah, and obviously Al's managed to out-qualify his championship rival Ross at the moment, so with Lewis, Ross's teammate, right behind him, could we see some gamesmanship going on there at some point?
Maybe, yeah, you'd never know. I know Lewis and Ross both are brothers. They're even twins, I believe. I'm not sure about that, but how aggressive will Lewis be towards L as well? I mean, Lewis overtaking L already gets Ross one spot closer as well. So a lot to play for. And a lot, we can only guess what's going to happen. We are on board with Lewis for the start if the camera angle stays like this.
Yeah, and the grid's just forming up at the back. Cosmo, Fretty, and Goey just taking positions.
I gotta have a real quick look on the tires. If I do get, yeah, and it's the mediums for everyone outside the top 10. So to get that out of the way as well. Sorry for doing it that late, but there's 5 lights and
okay, let's go.
Jones is awake. So is L, half in the grass, but on the outside in turn 1, taking a position already.
Yeah, the Evil's just managed to defend. He was in between two cars there for a second and defends it well.
While Lewis is falling all the way back to P5 so far. His teammate now behind him.
But he's massively under pressure from Huss as well. Huss is going to have a look. Huss is having a look. And he's up the inside. And that's giving Westy a chance, but Westy's fired up those rear tyres a bit too much.
So it's Evil Master who did manage to keep his pole and get it into P1 for lap 1 so far as well. Great start from L, who actually went really wide on the start. His car was half in the grass and he still managed to get the outside on turn 1. So it's a beautiful move from L, codenamed Scott. Well, we get a yellow flag and it is Cosmo.
Cosmo's at the moment. Yeah, and we're seeing Huss is up 3 places, Fretty's up 3 places as well, and Ross will be disappointed because his championship rival is up 1 place and he's down 1 place. That's gone not at all how he would have wanted it.
Well, Cosmo is completely off now. Westy fighting the Williams of Tonchek. But Ross had a big moment, I guess, because Ross is falling all the way back to P8 in the hairpin. So
yeah, and Tonchek's overtaking him around the outside here.
Yeah, the outside, of course, opens up the next corner on the inside.
Yeah, and they're side by side. Tonchek's got a bit better drive out of there. And Ross is really struggling at this point in time.
Yeah, it's not the best opening from him so far.
Fretty's on the back of this with his medium tyres.
Oh, big really moment there for Tonchek. And he's off.
And he's lost his whole front wing. He was very lucky to not lose a tyre there. I didn't see exactly what happened. I don't know if he had a collision with Ross.
Focusing on it. No, it was just on traction. Too much power on the throttle and he completely lost it.
I just switched to the guys behind and just only saw him coming across the track.
So Ross in P8 will be having need to be on top of his game, getting back to as close to L as possible. Westy in front of him.
The other thing about Ross here is he's only got 20% ERS. It's not been the opening laps he was looking for. And I think Fretty's very well placed for this race at the moment.
And again,
at least a strong finish.
Yeah, again, Ross doesn't have the best hairpin. Oh, and what the heck? That's Lewis also falling back. So it's a bad day for McLaren so far.
Yeah, not good at all. And I just saw Evil Master and Al trading fastest laps there. So they're driving clear of the field and having a right battle out front.
Yeah, Al managed to get 1.8 seconds away from Rodo. So it's probably going to be between Evil and Al if everything stays like this.
Early stages, yeah.
Fretty is now in the McLaren sandwich. Great start from Fretty, who of course started 13th. We can also see it on the position change. He's up 5 positions, the biggest winner so far. Biggest loser is Lewis at the moment, who lost a lot of positions in the final corner this last lap.
Yeah, and you wonder if McLarens will be thinking about a change in strategy or something different as they've lost a lot of positions, and they obviously in qualifying look to have the pace to be, on the podium.
They definitely need to change around a bit. Ross, yeah, of course, also out of ERS almost. Going for the move on Westy now. Well,
yeah,
normally I would say Westy doesn't give any presents, and he doesn't. Trying to cross it back right on the exit entry of the corner. Sorry.
Yeah, he's a bit exposed without the DRS there. Rodo's the early pitter. And Huss sets the fastest lap.
There, Lewis also trying to get past Westy in turn 1. Fretty got past on the exit of the final corner. Westy letting his car drift wide there in turn 1. Lewis kept his nose in.
So Rodo's switched onto the mediums. I wonder if he's...
And there's a yellow flag, that's Gooey. I'm trying to see it on board of Rodo. It looks to be on the exit here. Yeah, there he is. That's again the traction you get out of some corners in this game. And it's a safety car, so are we going to see some hearts being pulled out of the garage right now?
Oh, and it brings Tonchek back into it. Rodo also just pit, so he's...
he went for the medium, so he's not going to make the end on these tyres.
No, he's confirmed that he wanted to two-stop, but obviously that safety car's...
not helping him out.
A bit of issues, yeah.
We're on board. We're going to see what Evomaster and L are going to do. Myself, I didn't have too much practice yet to know how long the softs can go around here.
Well, I'd imagine that's not what Fretty wanted on at that point, because that strategy was playing out very nice for him.
Absolutely, P6, starting P13, so. And both leaders are going in. I call them both leaders because there's absolutely there's a little margin between them.
And Fretty stays out.
So Fretty is taking his track position right now.
And Eek, obviously, he started on mediums as well.
Yeah, and
Evilmaster's gone to hards, obviously trying to get it to the end of the race.
But Fretty and Eek, they know they got the faster tyre. They might try to pull away far enough. Maybe even go for a one stop on the medium softs.
Yeah. And well, obviously these mediums will be getting extended 2 or 3 laps by the safety car.
Westy went in for mediums. Same for Lewis. Lewis also went in and took the medium tire. So I predict these drivers are still gambling on a 2-stop strategy. Same for us. So both McLaren's on the same strategy.
Yeah, and it's just evil Huss by MGO of the front runners trying to one-stop it then.
If the race just continues without any safety cars, it looks like Evil Master and Huss are on the safe side right now. Both running the hard tires.
Yeah, whereas Al has, I think he wants track position, doesn't he? He wants the rubber under him rather than those hards.
Well, he has the faster tire than Evil Master right now. I think for L it's just getting past, trying to pull away as far as possible, and then maybe take the advantage on the softs at the end versus all the hards. But we cannot read their minds. We can see what's happening on track, and that's it. While Gui left the session, yeah, he's out, of course. No need to stay in anymore.
Yeah, no, it's for Fretty and Eek who haven't pitched yet. Seeing Evil Master behind on the hards possibly make them feel better about that, and they'll just be hoping to get a good restart and get away. Even maybe helping each other get away from the pack.
Yeah, well, as far as I know, Equal is a real team player, so he might want to help out his mid-gear teammate, who is, of course, fighting for the title in here, together with Ross, who's still in P8, so far away from L at the moment.
Yeah, and it's not worked out for McLaren so far. They are leading the constructors also, with Aston Martin in behind them, so could be a big swing of points towards Aston Martin here.
It could be, yeah. Let's not forget, of course, Eek and Fretty still need to pit. But there's also still 22 laps to go, so...
Yeah, and I imagine a safety car will be in at the end of this lap, considering the whole field's nice and bunched up again. So it'll be 21 laps left. So the hards will be doable, but there's no chance for the mediums, I don't think, is there?
I don't think so, not with the traction around some of these corners. I mean, I like to take some gambles on tires, but I wouldn't do this myself on the mediums. Well, Eaglemaster is really trying to get the temperatures in the hard tires.
Well, he'll be concerned about the guys behind him, not necessarily the guys in front of him at this point.
No, he knows they need to go in. So it's more L he will be concerned about.
And Huss has had a great race so far, actually getting up those 3 positions. Obviously, Fretty and Eka are up 12 and 10, but that's partly because of this safety car. But Huss has steadily climbed his way through the leaderboard.
So, getting confirmation from Colin that the mediums will go to the end, but not as fast as the hards. So, our expert inside RPM is saying that the hards around this track are not the best tires, while we are waiting for Fretty to restart.
Yeah, and when will he go?
That's and there he goes.
He's gone now.
Right before the final corner. Is everyone getting through? Oh, I see in the background. I see some cars having some moments. Fretty had a good restart though. 6
Yeah,
10.
he did very well there.
Evilmaster was awake,
putting pressure on. Oh, and he's up the inside there, and he's that warming of the tyres up's really worked. He's got them right fired up. Oh, and even more so, he's had a bit of a moment coming out of there, and that's put him under pressure from Al.
Yeah, he let L by, of course. So these two guys are just gonna go straight back at it, fighting for the provisional win at the moment.
And I think Fretty must have had a moment there, because all of a sudden he's only 2 tenths ahead. I think he fired those rear tyres up.
And you see Fretty really taking the defensive line there. So Evilmaster, his pace on the hard tyres is great so far. Fretty really needs to work for it to keep that first place.
Yeah, and at this point it doesn't seem to be as big a difference between those hards and mediums. I mean, Colin's told us our man in Pirelli. But Evilmaster's absolutely flying on them at the moment.
Well, we also got both Alfa Romeos right behind each other, P5, P6, and Ross managed to get a place already on the first lap after the safety car.
Yeah, and Westy's just picked up a 3-second time penalty in the midfield there.
Yeah, he did cut the chicane there. I was just watching Ross while Ega's overtaking Al again.
Yeah, Al must have had a moment out of the final corner, because he was right on the back of Evilmaster.
And this is not what Al wants. If he wants to win this race, he needs to get past the Evilmaster as soon as possible, of course. Evilmaster really pushing his ERS as well, already down to 40%.
Go again.
So there's some great teamwork by Aston Martin at the moment.
Yeah, and the 2 Alphas just made contact, and Ross made a bit of contact with Huss there, and they're still banging wheels going into the fast left-hander.
It's really close, and that's Ross off.
Well, Ross has spun. And they were banging wheels right round that corner. Yeah.
It looked like Lewis,
he's had a moment with it as well, and he's making contact with Huss as well now.
Well, I just switched to
and Evilmaster's out.
Yeah, I just switched to Fretty by coincidence, and it looked like Fretty was spinning, so there might have been contact between Fretty and Evilmaster. And we got a virtual safety car out now.
An absolute crazy first lap of racing back. Lots of contact throughout the field.
Absolutely.
And Westy up into 4th position from all that. He just kept it clean. I know he's got his 3-second penalty, but whilst all that was going on around him, just snuck up into 4th.
Evil Master already joining the chat. I'm not racing anymore. There were just right before the restart a lot of people in the chat cheering for him, really hoping for him to get the win. And
yeah, I didn't catch what had happened with it. I don't know if you in the stream managed to catch it.
I didn't really, because I was looking at Ross and then accidentally switched to Freddy, who I noticed spinning around, and all of a sudden Evil Master was out. While Rodo going for the move on Eek now, so splitting the essence.
Yeah, and Rodo's going to be trying to keep Al honest here, because obviously his main rival for the race, Evil, is now out.
Absolutely, yeah. The only rival Hitler has left at the moment is Ross, and Ross is in P11. Having a horrible day so far in his McLaren.
Yeah, and
Sonchek and
both
Cosmo
McLarens were fighting with Huss there. Just a lot of wheel banging. And it cost them dearly.
We got another yellow flag, and that's Ross once again, who spun around.
Yeah, and it's not getting any better for Ross at the moment.
And there he goes again. And can he keep it out of the wall? He does, but that might have...
that he managed to slide along the wall rather than into it. He might have a bit of rear wing damage there, though. And Fretty pitted, so he must have used the virtual safety car.
Onto the harsh.
Did he get damage from spinning?
I believe he did. He went in straight after the incident, so... We got Rodo real close behind the L right now on the same tires. So Rodo is also having some great pace here.
Yeah, and he's really putting pressure on L right now.
L not really clipping the curbs at the moment. So he might be...
but maybe he's seen the carnage happen in front of him and thought, I don't fancy getting too close to those curbs at the moment.
Yeah, and he might even be saving some of his tires, hoping to stretch the mediums, but...
I mean, at this point, winning the championship, if he finishes second, he only loses 5 points on winning it.
And it's
with
another
Ross down in
12th.
He might just be playing it safe.
Might have been Ross once again, I'm not sure. But look at Eek catching Rodo, Westy catching Eek. While Rodo is catching L, so L definitely needs to find the pace somewhere soon, because he might be on to lose a lot of positions.
For Westy here, this is a net podium position if he's going a one-stop, because Eek is going to have to pit.
And Rodo even going for the move now with DRS before the turn one, so Rodo taking the lead here in mid-gear, China, in his Alfa Romeo. And I'm pretty sure Eek won't pressure L too hard, since they're on the same team. And Westy having a little moment in turn two there. Geo, Dino are also not far behind. On board with Dino, you can see Westy pretty clear, and Eek. So it looks like the entire top six is coming together now.
Yeah, and some battles throughout have just tightened up a bit. Obviously, we've got the gap at the back for 10th, 11th and 12th because of incidents.
Yeah, it's getting real close now. Ian Lewis is also catching Dino, so it's top 7.
We kind of got Tonchek and Cosmo are in a different race at the moment to them, but yeah, that top 7's really getting tight.
Westy did lose out a little right now, but also Eek managed to get Westy outside his DRS. So Westy is really pushing for it as well, also almost out of his ERS.
And looking at Eek, he's well placed to VRS, but obviously his problem is he's got to pit. A lot of them are quite low on ERS here, around 30 to 20%.
We got a yellow flag in sector 3, and that's Huss.
Yeah, had a spin.
Did manage to keep his front wing, so taking it easy on those sides. And then look at Ross, who's 18 seconds behind Huss already, 13 now, but he's definitely not having the race he wanted.
No, not at all. Even though Rodo overtook Al and looked like he was potentially going to be able to drive off because the differential in pace, Al's actually closed up that gap a little bit now.
Yeah, Al is just keeping it within DRS distance, so there's nothing going on for Al right now. He won't take the risk to take the win, I guess.
Yeah, and seeing as Fretty, who's in third in the championship but some points behind, is in 10th, and his main championship rival Ross is last of the runners at the moment, there's no need for him to take those risks.
He will take it easy, drive with his mind.
Yeah, and Westy's under pressure from the cars behind again, is he? No, sorry, that was F1
Lewis.
Dino getting passed by MGO.
Yeah, Lewis also passing MGO, so... But then the exit of MGO is better, and they're going side by side to the final corner.
Yeah, there's not much room through there. And that's allowed Westy just to get a bit of a gap on them. But he is dropping back from the top 3 now. Eek's got incredible pace on those mediums, considering they're 12 laps old currently.
Yeah, absolutely. And considering Eek is a low gear driver, reserving in mid gear at the moment, he's doing great. But also he doesn't need to push that hard. He just takes the DRS of his teammate. And there's no car behind in DRS, so it's just keeping up with Al for him right now. Well, Al is really close to Rodo now. Huss taking the fastest lap at the moment, 35.3.
Yeah, and it's a shame for Huss because he seems to have really good pace around here, but just a few moments of cost him. Obviously, the coming together with Ross has cost them both.
Al is really close now. It's within striking distance on the straight. 3/10 for him. So
and I don't think Rodo will be able to do anything about this.
And there he goes, going into the hairpin. Already the move done.
But Rodo will have DRS straight back on him here.
Yeah, that's the worst part about this track. Nothing is safe here, and it looks like we have spun around again.
Yeah, and I think he's... Oh no, he has got...
And Rodo moves back in the lead again. Al tried to switch it back, so Al is not planning on giving up this position.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a battle.
Gets the traction over Rodo, so...
But he'll have the inside line to this corner, but Rodo's having a look. Al runs a bit wide on the apex there. And this is all allowed Westy to take half a second out of the leading pack in the last lap. And
so the 7-car lead
with Westy as well.
The 7-car lead might be there soon again.
Yeah, and it goes from bad to worse for Ross, yeah. Not been his day.
Al will be hoping that Eek can put some pressure on Rodo here on the straight with DRS. Of course, Rodo has it as well, but yeah, Eek has that massive DRS advantage. So to help his teammate out, he might want to push it all the way.
Yeah, and he's just saving it still at the moment.
Because now Rodo can just gain on the other Aston. Dino getting past Westy. Westy getting the traction. And those guys are gonna go side by side as well. No, Westy takes the better of it. backs out of it. Smart decision there, and while the lead is
Rodo's
still
around the outside, which is the inside to this corner. Oh, bit of contact. I'm watching on board from Eek at the moment, which is he's got the best view in the house of this battle.
Well, trusting you with that one, we're gonna have a clear view on this battle soon. As soon as the DRS, of course, comes into play. Westy now manages to keep close with Dino, so...
Yeah, Lewis G's joining those two.
And Dino on the hard tires as well, so... Looking great for him as well, knowing Eek needs to pit. L and Rodo both are on the hard tires. We move on to the onboard of Eek. Like you said, to see if Rodo can manage to pull the move on L.
Yeah, and he's going to be
not close
a
enough.
bit further back, but will he be patient and just keep it close through the hairpin?
Oh, it's a real late break. Oh, and there's some contact once again, and Lewis retires
and takes out Dino, which again allows Westy through, and he's come through.
L dives in
again.
straight away. Eek dives in, so it's a double stack at Aston Martin.
Westy's diving in. Everyone's pitting here at the moment.
This definitely brings Fretty, Ross and Huss back into play. But they will probably pit for the mediums as well.
And to be honest, it's going to be a bit of a race against time for them to catch the safety car queue, because they are... I mean, Ross is... Well, Huss has just gone past the safety car. Ross is only just coming onto the back straight now.
And then, tyre-wise, there was a double stack at Aston Martin, but Eek went for the soft tyres.
Well,
he started on the mediums, so it was either hard or soft. So
yeah, and he's going to get... Yeah, I guess with safety car he had to gamble on it at that point, but he's going to maybe have 2-3 laps behind the safety car here, so about 9 or 10 laps on them.
Yeah, the gaps are really big, so I predict the safety car to be out for a while. Ross manages to move back into P9 right now. He also didn't lose out too many positions doing the double stack. Only 2, so. But Cosmo and Ross both on the hard tires in P7, P8 are gonna have a rough time around these medium drivers. Big winner at the moment is Westy P3.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ross didn't pit, so he stayed on those 5-lap old hards. Fretty pitted, and he will catch that safety car queue by the time it comes in. Huss, it's a race against time for at the moment.
Let's hope for Huss he will be able to catch it. It would be great to have all 10 drivers fighting for the positions once again.
Yeah, and it's just going to be round 2 between Al and Rodo now, but on fresh tyres rather than older tyres.
So, considering the pace Eek had on the old medium tyres, him and his softs might be really promising. Oh, there's someone diving in again. Or was it just... Yeah, it's Cosmo. Fitted the hard tyres on the previous pit stop. That might be his third one. No, it's his first one. He already stopped, so... now he goes to the mediums as well. Fretty and Ross both moving the position up now. So the top 5 having 2 low gear drivers right now reserving here. So that's great to see as well.
Yeah, and the only problem for Westy at the moment for that podium position is those penalties. But I imagine Eek got a free pit stop with the safety car, so he is going to be absolutely flying towards the end of this race. So he's my one to watch come the end of the race.
Yeah, same for me. The rest of the grid is all apart from Ross on the hard. Ross is the only car on the hard left.
Yeah, and I have a
all
feeling Ross is
mediums.
going to struggle on that with the guys behind on those mediums. If Huss can catch up as well, that spells danger, because Huss has had some incredible pace, just a few mistakes here and there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all gonna come down to the pace right now. Everyone on the same tire apart from Ross and Eek. So it's all down to pace.
And I think for Westy in behind these front two, he'll just be hoping they kind of forget about him, battle hard like they have been doing the last few laps before the safety car, and he can sneak past them while they're battling. But obviously he's got some quick drivers behind him, so it's a bit of a sprint to the finish now.
What we might also see is, well, the safety car stays out one more lap, so there might be... Oh no, it's going in real late though. A real late notice of the safety car going in, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's extremely late. And it's meant Rodo's had to stay off the power for a bit longer.
Rodo is gone now.
And I tell you what, Westy was not caught sleeping at all there. He was, yeah. By MGO was caught sleeping a bit, but no one managed to get a jump on him.
Yeah, I was about to say, if the safety car stays out one more lap, you might see one, maybe two drivers in the queue to maybe still put on the softs, because it's easy to catch the pack again.
Yeah.
But then the safety car went in a real late notice. But Fretty real close to Ross right now. 4 tenths,
yeah,
followed by 3 tenths. Of course,
I have a feeling Ross is going to be powerless to stop some of the guys behind getting through.
Ross is also falling back already to turn check, so it's definitely not the track for the McLaren driver. Ooh, and there we see Fretty outbraking himself. Nearly clipped him.
Eek is very close behind Gio here.
Huss and Fretty side by side, and that's going beautifully. Beautiful. So.
And Eek is past, and he's chasing down those podium positions.
On his fresh softs, of course. Oh, but then goes a little bit deep.
Gets away with it though.
And look at the gap Tonchek already has to Ross. It's 1.3 seconds already in one lap.
Yeah, and in a sprint those hards aren't going to be the tyre.
Tonchek manages to stay real close to Gio as well, 4 tenths. And of course the battle for the lead. First L needed to take care of Evil Master, and unfortunately we lost Evil Master, but then all of a sudden Rodo came out and gave L the fight.
Yeah, and Al seems to close up through those first few corners. In the tighter corners it's almost like he closes up, and then when they're on the throttle Rodo seems to pull out a bit again.
Yeah, it looks like Rodo has way more top speed at the moment than the Aston Martin of Al.
So Al will be hoping that he can just keep close enough this lap to be in the DRS for next lap. Because obviously no DRS till the start of next
yellow
lap.
flag, sector 3, and unfortunately
round.
That's Huss again.
Yeah, he's had very good pace today, Huss, but just too many mistakes.
Yeah, we got an Alfa Romeo leading the pack, and at the back of the pack, unfortunately.
But 10th place still gives you points, so If he could just get it home, Huss, that's some more points for him.
Absolutely, and he
Eek,
knows
fastest lap of the race. And those leaders will know he's coming now.
And yeah, he's really close behind Westy already, who is not able to keep up with Rodo and L. That's not a shame, of course. It's, the difference in between tiers.
He's still in a decent gap there, though, Westy. He's not.
Yeah, he's not losing out
him.
like seconds a lap or so, a second a lap. But
I think when the DRS comes into play, obviously he's going to be exposed to Eek, but Rodo and Al will be getting closer, so they'll be scrapping. So I think we'll see that general 1.5 seconds come down pretty quick. Especially if Eek gets past on those softs.
Yeah, I also just noticed that Wesley had a little moment on the exit there. So that's also not helping him out, although he did manage to get 3 tenths towards L in like 2 corners.
Yeah, he's going defensive already.
The sector where L is really struggling, and we got a yellow flag, sector 3, and I'm not starting it.
I think it's yeah.
Oh, bad day at the office so far, but
yeah.
We'll stick in here.
Al's just been a bit too far behind to really close up to Rodo. Rodo's been doing a mighty impressive job through Sector 2 to keep Al far enough behind.
Well, we see Eek and Westy going side by side into turn 1. Westy chooses the outside in turn 1. Of course, he's seen that as well, that it opens up the inside. But yeah, Eek on those soft tires has more traction, has better grip. Not a shame.
It's not over for Westy yet, though. Eek's going to get involved in this battle soon on those softs, and if he can just drop or form a gap to 5th place, Westy's in a good position if something goes wrong at the front.
Yeah, absolutely. And the tires of Eek will fall down at some point.
Yeah. And we've got Cosmo's still close behind Ross G here, but just can't find a way past at the moment. And obviously Ross will be desperate to hold on to that 7th place to get as many points as he can. But he has been absolutely dropped by Tonchak.
He has, yeah. It's not the pace we know from Ross.
Well, it looked like in quali his pace wasn't what it normally is, but it wasn't too bad. It was very tight at the top, but just race, he's just really struggled.
Yeah, he doesn't have the I guess it's the setup. The setup is not really made for the race. While L is not close enough to Rodo. And Westy, yeah, just manages to cruise along with Eek.
Yeah, and Eek's not closed up on those front two as much as I thought he would have. But then again, these guys in 1st and 2nd have been pushing each other all race and racing so well as a result.
Yeah, Cosmo manages to get past Ross right now, just on the main straight. Oh, Ross locking up his fronts as well. And at the moment, L is having, well, what might be his best sector 2 of the race.
Yeah, and just in other news outside, Tonchak and MGO are closing up on Westy and Eek. So we're getting the top 6 back together again. And I see that Cosmo's finally got past Ross.
Yeah, on the main straight, he got the DRS and manages to get past. L is not using his ERS, while Rodo is almost out of it. Westy also out of ERS, so needs to do it on pure pace right now to get close to Eek again. And now it's really close for the lead. Side by side into turn 1. And
Yeah,
L actually managed to get past already. But Rodo not giving up, needed to lift a little there, I guess, to open up the way for L as well.
But he'll be within DRS range, and as we've seen so far, Rodo seems to have the pace in a straight line.
Yeah, and Sector 2 is not L's best sector, so we might see a switch again. We do see a switch between Ross and Cosmo, because Cosmo is completely off track, and oh, Cosmo, what? Slammed into the side of Fretty as well there. Luckily, no big crashes, but pretty sure Fretty will not be too happy with that one.
Yeah, while all this is happening, the top 6 is now separated by just 4.2 seconds.
Big moment for us there. Lost both positions once again to Fretty and Cosmo.
And MGO's passed Westy.
And it's almost 3 wide there in the hairpin. Westy closing the door for Tonchek right now. Does not want to lose two-way positions in one time, and once again it's side by side for the lead in turn 1. And looks like Rodo, yeah, he does keep his nose there, but Al gets the traction. Now Rodo, taking the outside line, that is the ideal one. But late break there from L, Rodo was awake for it and didn't get.
Considering all of this fighting, Eek just hasn't closed up like I thought he was going to.
Now I expected more as well, to be honest. Also, we should not forget that L in the lead still has 67% ERS, so has some margin to play with. And we got a yellow flag in sector 2. That's Cosmo.
Yeah. That'll be his tyres after that spin, I imagine. But Rodo again is in DRS. I think they'll keep swapping positions right to the last lap the way it's going.
They might cross the line together. Oh, it's coming really close. Is there gonna be a late break? There he is. Rodo is braking real late, giving L enough space there. So
yeah, he's good on the brakes in there. Rodo gets it nicely tucked into the apex.
But also knows L is gonna cross back right again, straight again, in turn 1. How many times did we see this race?
Yeah, there we go, up the inside. That's...
and there's contact now. Ooh, L managed to save it. Rodo also didn't push through.
Away. Yeah.
Great sportsmanship from Rodo there. That could have ended so much worse.
Eek to close up a little bit, although not as much as you'd think again. Only a few tenths. But Westy and Tonchek in 5th and 6th are only 3.5 seconds behind the leader now. Anything could happen here.
Yeah, Westy having that 3-second penalty will only lose 1 position now as well, so he will be happy with that in mid-gear, of course.
Yeah, and he's been in the top 4, 5 for very long periods of this race. Fair play.
And now Rodo might have them, getting the move once again. So this might be overtake number 55 for the lead this race. Number 65 probably coming up. 56 of course, probably coming up now.
Yeah, and he just dropped back a bit out of the exit, but
L now taking the outside in turn 1.
Oh, it's beautiful. And he's got the inside now. They give each other room.
It's a super tight one for L. Looked like he needed to take turn 2 real tight So also some less speed through the corner for the Aston Martin. But
And
now it might open up
Eek's
a
been
little
holding
gap.
back to either look after those tyres or to be a buffer for Al, because now the top 6 is separated by only 3 seconds here. Oh, and by MGO's spun, and Westy just avoids him.
Same for Tonchek as far as I could see. And Rodo, who had the better Sec2 out of L and Rodo, didn't have the best one now, at the moment he needed the most. And out of ERS as well, and L sees this light flashing as well. It's also came down to the only fight on track at the moment is L and Rodo.
Yeah, and unfortunately that spin by MGO, after getting it down to 3 seconds separating the top 6, has just spaced them all out again.
We do got Tonchek close to Westy, but not for a move.
But Fretty's quietly gone about his business getting back into this race. He's just 3 seconds off MGO now.
Yeah, it looks like Fretty, the last races I've seen him drive, he's taking the Richie roll in mid-gear. Just don't mess around, stay out of trouble, and he gets back in it. Winning races as well, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Westy picks up another 3-second penalty.
Which leaves him exposed to Fretty now.
Also, we should of course not forget that Eek and Westy are reserving in mid-gear as low-gear drivers. So Tonchek is at the moment P3. Since low-gear drivers will get scrapped out of the result, the final result.
Yeah, and Tonchek's pass. Westy's keeping it up the inside.
Looking at L and Rodo once again towards turn 1.
Yeah, and they are so close. And they have, I don't think these guys have been separated by more than 1 second for about 25 laps now.
Basically, when we lost Evil, Rodo just took Evil's role and started fighting L, and it looks like it's paying off for Rodo as well. He's been out of ERS for a couple of laps already, but still manages to stay in front.
Yeah, and that straight line speed in his setup is clearly working out very well for him.
We got a yellow flag, and that's Ross. Oh, Hus going for a move on Cosmo now in turn 1. Gets it done as well, so I'm gonna change my headset real quick.
Yeah, and we'll see if we can see Al get Rodo here on the straight in DRS again. He's half a second behind this time. And it might just be a little too far again. Rodo's got such good pace in that car. He's having a look. Rodo defends the inside. Al goes around the outside. He's still there. He's going to have the inside line to the last corner. And Al's going to win this on the last lap. And he does. By less than a tenth, Westy's going to cross the line in 3rd position, but that will go to Tonchek after penalties.
And I'm really sorry for zapping in that late, but I
Fretty also gets hurt. Yeah, Al got him with on the second to last corner. He's bided his time, got him at the hairpin, but went a long way round, braked so late, and then just had the inside line for the last corner.
So
and what a race between those two. gutted for Rodo because it was an amazing performance, but also happy for Al because it was an amazing performance from him too. Just great racing.
Yeah, we had a big race on our hands today.
Absolutely. And it would have been interesting if Evil had still been in that mix, because Rodo was clearly on a similar pace to Evil and Al there.
Well, Ross is still, even after this race, enjoying it, weaving around the track. My apologies towards the viewers for missing that finish. I couldn't go any faster with my headset, sorry. Eek winning the driver of the day. A great drive from him. Same for Westy. Deserving out of low gear, Westy and Eek. So said it multiple times, but I'm very grateful for guys like them to reserve and fill up the grid a little bit. We go to the final result, and like you said, it's L winning the race. Rodo not even a tenth behind. Great driving from those two. Tonchek taking P3, Eek P4. Will go to Gio, who's a permanent mid-gear driver. So basically it's P4 for Gio, then P5 for Fretty. Decent point for him as well, especially with Ross in P10. What promotes him to P8. But there you go. Huss still manages to finish in P8, the position he started after not having the best race.
Yeah, and for Ross there, that fastest lap, that's the consolation I guess he can get. He finished the race and got an extra point for fastest lap.
Yeah. He will be happy with that one. 2 points as well, so.
Yeah, so that'll come down to if it comes down to a couple of points at the end of the season, that could be huge.
Absolutely. That's it for mid-gear. I want to thank you, Jones, for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure once again. Everybody, thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in tomorrow as well. Same time, same channel, different category. And I wish you all a good night, and see you next time.